Alright, I think we are now live. Great. And I think it's maybe better to go horizontal. You see more horizontal than vertical. Alright, hey guys. So, let's see, and you can sort of read some of the comments there. Alright, let's see, so here we are. We're just leaving Tesla headquarters, and we just dropped a random pin at Stanford or whatever. We can clear that though, and I don't know, we can pick it. I'll just whatever. AI end-to-end. Let's see how it does. So let's go. Well, let's see. Okay, so here we're kind of, let's see, added to kind of random spot. That's going to be pretty wobbly. But it's really smooth sailing in the car itself. And here we're encountering some construction, and the car is just driving around the construction. So it has never seen this construction before. Well, okay, it is near the headquarters, but this construction is relatively new. Let's learn exactly the right lane. But now it's going over to the right lane. Yeah, okay, great. You can see the destination. Yeah, okay. Hopefully nobody meets us there. Let's see, is this working? Is this live stream working? Hello?
I can check on my phone. I think it's working. We are at this intersection.
I mean, obviously it's a little boring because we're at a red light. And there's a lot of traffic at this time. So, I don't want to bore people to death here, but we're just sitting at a red light in Palo Alto. Yeah, I think like the videos like this are maybe more interesting if they're edited and sped up.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'll try to answer comments if I see comments. Man, this is a long red. Well, the car is patiently waiting for the car light to change. And, yeah. Made a good left. It's kind of hard to tell maybe from the live stream, but the car is driving very smoothly. I think I'll will rely on others to take this video, edit out the boring bits, and speed it up. It's smooth right there. entirely AI and cameras. Just like our brain works, which is neural nets and eyes. Yep, I just slow down for a speed bump, which is cool. I just slow down for another speed bump. And we did not program in. There's no line of code that says slow down for speed bumps. So it is doing this based entirely on video training.
Yeah, I went around the bicyclist.
Yeah, and there's a bicyclist. Again, there is no line of code that says give clearance to bicyclists. It is just doing what people do. It can read science without ever being taught to read. Once again, there is no line of code that says stop at a sign or wait for another car.
Who came first or whatever.
Or who came. There's not like wait X number of seconds. Nothing like that. Nothing. This is all nets, baby. Nothing but nets.
Yeah.
When we get to our destination, we'll change the pin and it's like drop it somewhere else random. Maybe we'll run into Zuckerberg and we can challenge him to a fight. That'd be fun. Spice it up. He's not traveling somewhere to his backyard. So here we are at a roundabout. So roundabouts are obviously pretty complicated.
I waited for those two cars.
Yep, it just waited for those two cars to go and then did the turn. Again, I'm being somewhat repetitive about this, but we have never programmed in the concept of a roundabout. We just showed a whole bunch of videos of roundabouts. So a lot.
A big fleet helps.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a lot of training data. A lot of video training data in order to make this work. So you need really billions of dollars of training hardware, and you need to know how to run the neural net training hardware. So it's not like easy, but the mind-blowing thing is that there's no heuristics. There's no like lines of code. Like there's a guy on a scooter. It doesn't know what a scooter is. It doesn't know what paddles are. It's literally just been given a lot of video. So, and it's doing all of this on hardware 3 with about 100 watts of inference compute. So it's not like, obviously, it's not some like massive data center. And if we were offline, there would be no difference. This is locally. All the inference that's happening is local. It does not need an internet connection, and obviously that's necessary because if you lost your cellular internet connection, the car needs to drive safely. But we could be somewhere where there is no internet connection, and it's never seen the roads before. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, runs at 36 FPS.
Oh yeah, we're running at the full frame rate, so it's taking 8 cameras at 36 frames per second. Yeah, the pure AI version runs faster than the version that is a mixture of normal software and AI. In fact, it would run it faster than 36 frames per second, except the cameras are currently only capable of 36 FPS. Our current, back of the envelope frame number is we think it could probably run at 50 frames a second, And so but the reality of the roads are basically designed around 24 frames a second. Basically, it's similar to we got to our destination, so I'll just pick a new destination here. There's like some sort of random place here. Wherever, somewhere. I'm like, hello, assassins. If you want to get me, now's your chance. You just need to be in Palo Alto. Like this, the assassin count is low in Palo Alto. So we're just Ashok just dropped a sort of random pin. We don't know where we're going really. Just somewhere in Palo Alto. But it's just also worth noting, and Ashok, you may want to actually sort of provide some commentary as well. But we've got test drive, FSD 12 test drivers around the world. So we've got people in, I think, like New Zealand and like Thailand and Norway, Japan,
everywhere. Because you should generalize. The concept of driving is general. You don't need to just do it in the US. You could do it everywhere simultaneously.
Right. Exactly. Just like a human can go travel to a country they've never been to before and rent a car and drive around and be, maybe not quite as good as someone local, but you can still rent a car in a foreign country and drive around. And we just have like some students over there that one of them stumbled briefly into the road and the car drove around them. A lovely day in California, the beautiful Stanford campus. Playing a little Four Seasons. We'll change the...
Pretty soon we'll add also instructions following, so you could say lane change to the leftmost lane, or pull over here or something like that, and the car should even respect those kinds of commands.
Yeah, exactly. So here we're at a roundabout. The car is I've never been to this roundabout before, and the car is not specifically trained on this roundabout.
Yeah, and then once it's our turn, and just proceeds.
Yeah, exactly. So it waited for the correct amount of time, drove smoothly around the roundabout. Again, I will be somewhat repetitive, but there is no line of code that says this is a roundabout. There is nothing that says wait, X number of seconds, which is what we have in the explicit control stack. That's the sort of version 11. There's over 300,000 lines of C++ in the explicit control stack of version 11, and there's basically none of that in version 12.
Yeah, and just because there's no lines of code doesn't mean that it's not controllable. It's still quite controllable on what you want by just adding data. Now you have to program with data instead of programming with code.
Yeah, data curation.
Yeah.
And then whenever we find that there's something, say if the car doesn't perform perfectly, we give it more examples of what it should do in that situation, and updates the weights, and then it works.
Yeah, and also we have labelers cleaning and making sure that all the data that goes in is the good driving data, not the bad drivers from the world. There are bad drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. The quality of the data is very important. So large amounts of mediocre data do not improve driving.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite actually.
Yeah, it makes it worse. So that's why the data curation is actually quite difficult. And I should say there is quite a bit of software around what data, so selecting what data to train the system with. So
the software that runs in the car is minimal, but the software in the back end to train is like much larger and much more sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly. So we do use like normal software for C++ basically for Python for deciding what data to select from the fleet, and then figuring out what is the high quality data versus the pretty good data.
Yeah, and once we have a model, we also ship those models in shadow mode to the cars, and then every time it disagrees with what the user did,
exactly,
then you can like, get the data back, and then kind of that is more valuable than just collecting random data.
Yeah, exactly. So so we feel good about actually having a very rapid virtuous cycle where when there is an intervention in the fleet, that intervention automatically being uploaded to training, being integrated with training, and then updating really just the weights. So it's not the binary that's changing, it's the weights. Or not the execution binary, it's just really for the weights. Yeah. So where are we headed here? So I have not intervened once, and the drive has been butter smooth. Again, being somewhat repetitive, we're repetitive about being repetitive, in fact, but we have not programmed in the concept of traffic lights. So there's not like, this is a red light, this is a green light, and this is the traffic light position. We have that in the normal stack, but we do not have that in v12. This is just video training. Like I said, nothing but neural nets. And yet it knows which light applies to it. And it stops at a red light, accelerates at a green light. Now, one of the sort of maybe slightly funny challenges we've had is that since the car is being trained on what humans do, humans almost never stop fully at a stop street. So when they get to a stop sign, humans actually almost never go to 0 miles an hour. They may think they did, but usually they're doing at least a few miles an hour at a stop, coming up to a stop street. Sometimes people go faster than that, but the regulators are they're really quite insistent that we go to come to a complete stop at stop signs. And when we looked at the data, only 5% of the time do humans actually stop fully.
Even lower than that.
Oh,
like 0.5%.
0.5%?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
It's
basically,
extremely
people almost never fully stop at stop signs. So we had to.
Even if you look at those data, it's like a lot of them come to a stop and they get on their phone or something. It's not just regular people doing the stops. Yeah,
and they might semi-stop and then move a little bit and that kind of thing. So we had to poll the fleet for rare examples that less than 1% of the time when people actually come to a full stop, and artificially train the system to stop at stop signs at the insistence of the regulators. So. Like I said, this is a little slow because we're driving around in basically rush hour. Intervention. Sorry. Okay, so that's our first intervention. because the car should be going straight.
Yeah,
So-
this model has small regression in the traffic lights. We just
Okay.
have to oversample the traffic lights. Yeah.
Okay. So, that's why we've done releases to the public yet. So an intervention at this traffic light. That's the first intervention in the whole drive. Okay.
Merge was handled fine.
Yeah, so it just did a merge, traffic merge, super smooth. So for that intervention that we just had, the solution is essentially to feed the network a bunch more video of traffic lights. So that was a controlled left controlled left turn, where there was a green light for the left turn, but not a green light to go straight. And so we'll feed it a bunch of video of controlled left turns, and then it'll work.
But in the next 2 weeks, we're going to release a shadow mode release where we're going to run this network in the background and then check when, for example, in this case, we would have wanted to go, but then the driver would not have gone. So we can just like check that, okay, and then we get the data back into the labelers, and the labelers say who was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that helps know that like we should not have gone. So you don't have to even get the intervention. You can just like passively observe what we want to do, and this is what happened in reality.
Right. So here we have another controlled left traffic intersection, although it's given both greens, so it's kind of an easy one. The smoothness of the control, the car, just how smoothly the car is behaving it's hard to convey, I think, on camera, but it's just super smooth.
Yeah,
you have to feel it, really. So now it's making a left turn. So it's gotten itself into the left turn lane. Again, we've never programmed in the notion of a turn lane or anything like that.
Or even a lane.
We doesn't even know what we've never. There's no line that says that it has. There's no line of code about traffic lanes at all.
Internal to its mind, it might know all these concepts and how we think about it, lanes and like vehicles, things like those. But we have just not explicitly asked for it.
Yeah. Well, just like humans. Yeah, just, Alright, we've arrived at this random pin.
It might try to pull over, let's see if it does. Sometimes it does pull over.
Yeah, so it kind of, so this is pretty cool. So the car just pulled over to the side of the road, and
And the passenger should get off.
And parked. So it knows at the end of its destination, based on the video that's received, that at the end of the destination, you pull over to the side and park.
Yeah,
and
it also gets the exact pin location in addition to the navigation route. So, the pin is close. It's a good spot here. It puts over here, but in big parking lots where there might not be any map, it should just go as close to the pin as possible.
Right. Exactly.
Even without any route or anything like that.
Yeah, in fact, in sort of robotaxi world, it would actually just, you know, probably perhaps know what you look like and just literally look for you.
Yeah. If you have a picture or something, you can just
Yeah,
look for
exactly. It's like if you sign up and it's like, you know, just say, you don't have to, but if you want the car to literally find you, you just have to send it a picture of you, and it will look for you and wait for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can also say, drop me off at the Starbucks or something. And
Yeah.
it should drop you off at the building's entrance as close to Starbucks as possible, as opposed to somewhere random, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I guess, let's see, I don't know, probably head back to HQ. Sure. Or hit Tesla entering HQ.
Do you want to do the fight, or?
Wait, where does he live? It's
here,
somewhere around here.
Yeah,
should we just Google it?
Yeah, you could Google it.
I mean, you know, we can knock on the door and whatever Google says.
Please say hi, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say hi. We'll be friendly. It's just a polite inquiry as to whether you would like to engage in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
you know, if it's
old school way.
Just you know, if not inconvenient, perhaps you would like to fight. Okay, so this is literally, we just Googled it. We don't know if this is where he actually lives or not, but we'll just go there.
Roughly.
So, you know, he's like. Okay. So let's go, guys. What? So now we're at least going to where Google says, you know, Zuckerberg lives. You know, I don't think this is really, you know, it can't be really considered doxing if we just Googled it. So we'll see if it's the drive correctly to where Google thinks you live. Doing a pretty good job of driving through the Palo Alto suburb. Sure, lovely.
Even the speed is just, everything is automatic.
Right. Oh, is it going to stop yet? Okay, good. Stopped at the red line.
Yeah, it was a late yellow, so it's just like.
Yeah. Pretty much what a person would do.
Yeah.
Some cyclists over there. And Palo Alto really is a lovely town. It feels like a Truman Show.
It's best for families.
Yeah. It's like everything's perfect.
Yeah.
I'll turn it to so I can see the comments. Yeah, there's no lane drifting. It's super smooth in the lane. And it doesn't confuse a bike lane with a real lane or anything like that. Yeah, the ride is super comfortable. As I see messages popping up, I'll try to answer them. That was a lot of messages, actually. Wait, which way is the... Sounds like 600. So now it's gone into the... So here we are, headed headed to like Edgewood Drive. We don't know if this is actually where he lives or not. Probably not, because it's like I would expect there to be like a lot of security and stuff. Anyway, well, this is we are at the spot that's roughly where, but I don't think it just doesn't seem probably where it is, because probably be security and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, but it's sort of still nice driving around Palo Alto.
Can I head back to the office?
Yeah, sure. Good. Zuckerberg did say, like, name the date in bold letters or whatever on, whatever platform he's on. And so I'm like, hey, right about right now. So just, does now work? Alright, well, we couldn't find him, so we are heading back to Tesla headquarters.
Our ship is waiting for the pedestrians or something.
Maybe it's like perhaps overly cautious about the pedestrians. Nice couple passing by. We won't film them because they might be a little weird.
They won't be approving it.
They just walked past. So, of course. The car is very, very polite with pedestrians. So it's stopped to wait for the couple to pass by, and now it's continuing to drive. So here we are in Palo Alto, driving on Pure AI. Headed back to Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters in Palo Alto. How does it react to low visibility conditions is one of the questions.
Yeah,
like at night and stuff, I suppose, or rain and snow.
I think it works as we would expect it to. It like slows down rain and then drives at lower speed. And for occluded intersections, it kind of like crawls forward and then checks, if the vehicle's coming. That's one of the areas that we're trying to improve even more than just doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we definitely need training from all around the world is that the weather in California is amazing, and it's as the song goes, like basically never rains in California. It's like sunny and nice almost all the time.
And the drivers are pretty nice too.
The drivers here are quite polite. So
we need some aggressive drivers and also pedestrians.
Yeah, exactly. Like we need situations where like there's a parade or a crowded situation or whatever. A lot of pedestrians for whatever reason.
Yeah. We want to be safe, but also confident and be competent. We don't want to be too skittish and like hit the brakes all the time.
Yeah,
it was like unnecessary.
Yeah, but it's winter basically in New Zealand, and so we have like this snowy conditions there that we can train in. There's a bicyclist. It's a little tight. That's okay.
Maybe it's waiting for pedestrians.
Yeah, it is very conservative with bicyclists and pedestrians, generally. So.
They had to turn away almost to for us to continue.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This is like an unprotected turn for us.
Yeah, okay, so this is a tricky one. So this is turning left onto Middlefield in Palo Alto where visibility is not great. So it's like
both sides.
The cars coming from both sides at pretty high speeds. But did it. Yeah, no problem. Great. So unprotected left onto a high-speed road, fairly high-speed road. No problem. Yeah, so V12 will be, I would say, actually smart summon, ASS.
Yeah. Internally, we also called it like revenge summon almost, because we want someone to be so much. The first summon was okay, but this summon is going to be so good that
I call it actually smart summon.
Actually smart summon.
ASS. It's like, don't you want some ASS? Of course you do.
Speed up is quite nice too.
Yeah, exactly. Like the very, very intuitive, smooth speed up and acceleration in turns.
Yeah, even the set speed is just set to some max value.
Yeah, exactly. It's currently set to 85, but it's ignoring the set speed. It's driving at what would be intuitively the right speed for people to drive at.
Yeah, you did a lane change to get into the faster lane.
Exactly. So there's two lanes here. There's a lot more cars in that lane, fewer cars in this lane, and it's going straight. So it picked the lane with the fewest cars.
Following it typically, the distance and the velocity and everything, acceleration, there's nothing here, and it's able to follow the vehicles.
Yep, exactly. There's no explicit distance that's programmed in for how close you should be behind a car. It's again just video training.
Yeah, it's intuitive,
just intuitively.
These speeds, and this is kind of the right following speed.
Like what would humans generally do, and it picks a reasonable follow distance and does that.
Yeah, the nice thing is, for bad weather conditions, for example, it will automatically increase the speed.
Yep.
And if
or decrease the speed.
Increase the distance.
Distance. Yeah.
This traffic light takes a while.
Oh, yeah, this is the El Camino and Page Mill. A classic Silicon Valley intersection. I've seen this intersection for 30 years, basically.
I guess our headquarters is the HP. It used to be the HP
headquarters, yeah, exactly. The Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters in Palo Alto are the former Hewlett-Packard headquarters.
Yeah, so literally Silicon Valley like started here.
Yeah, exactly. We're it's an honor to be for our global engineering headquarters to be the kind of where the birthplace of Silicon Valley was. So as you can see, lovely place. So we'll see how it does in the parking lot. So because parking lots are complicated, especially the Tesla parking lot, which is jam-packed. So probably pretty full even on a Friday night, a Friday evening. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock on a Friday. Yeah, this is a fairly tricky light. So you got two controlled lefts and two straight, basically two turn lanes and two straight lanes.
And it's sort of like merge after this turn, which is also interesting because it's like turn and merge simultaneously.
Yeah, it's got to turn and merge simultaneously, which is tricky. Yeah, cool. Nice. Real smooth merge. Now, one of the interesting things about pure AI driving is that it actually doesn't need a map at all. So we could delete the navigation system, simply give it a GPS point and say, get to this GPS point somehow. We're not going to tell you how. You could say, like, you see that building in the distance, go there. And it would do that even with no, it might make some, get to go down a road that's a dead end and then have to reverse out, but it would basically be able to do what a human can do, where if you said please go to point at something and go there. So now it's going into the parking lot. There is no explicit map of the parking lot, so now it is just trying to get to a GPS point.
Yeah, they're putting new superchargers here for the cars.
Okay.
We're here.
Yeah, that's how it got to the point, and that's it. Alright, so that was the FSD 12 beta drive. Super smooth. One intervention, which we'll fix with a bit more training data. Otherwise, really I would say, if this was a Uber driver, pretty much apart from that one intervention, 5 stars.
Yep.
So, alright, thanks everyone for tuning in.